Alrighty. We're gonna hit some standard mode. We'll go for the pumpkin patch because we did temple yesterday. All right, we did temple yesterday. All right, how's it hanging, folks? I am doing okay today. I'm doing all right. Yeah, I got like straight up fucking 8 hours recording done yesterday of Zero Secret, which I don't know if I've talked about yet, but that's it's a new video that I'm working on. Like, it took a very long time for Zero Secret to come out, and I've been anticipating it like a lot. I think it's like probably my most anticipated game of all time. And I gotta say, the 1.0 release, it hasn't disappointed so far. There have been some bugs with terrain generation, which I wasn't too happy about. I believe that's like a fucking 5-minute clip of me just going like, I fucking hate this game. Just because one of the like quest objectives that I was supposed to do got blocked off, and I physically couldn't do it, and I was just like, man, you know what? Fuck this. But I mean, yeah, it was alright. But I gotta say, by the end of it, I was just like, I was so fucking done. I was so done for the night. And like I was supposed to write some stuff for D&D yesterday, but I just got swept up. You know what I mean? It's hard to keep you focused when you're having it's hard to, you know, drag yourself away from something when you're having a good time with it. Which I guess is just like, you know, reflects poorly on me and my ability to Jesus Christ, that guy's fast. To you know, maintain proper attention, but whatever. Not that stressed about it, to be honest. I've known that I've had and this is like a fucking slightly cringe thing, because I know a lot of people do this nowadays, but I do have ADHD. It's undiagnosed, but I fucking do have it because I got diagnosed with autism a while ago, and ADHD is in my family. So like, you know, autism, ADHD come in pairs. It's in my family. There's like a fucking 95% chance that I have it. Also, I've got like the symptoms. So it's that. You know what I mean? I've not just seen some shit on TikTok and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got ADHD, guys. That explains why I'm a fucking idiot or some shit like that. No, there's basis to my claim here. But yeah, I've been trying to hammer at getting the diagnosis for a while now, but the NHS is not being hugely helpful. It's also partially on me, just because I like see their emails and then I'm like, oh, I'll get around to it later, and then I never do. But it is, you know, I mean, they could be going a little harder on you know, calling me, but now that I'm saying it out loud, yeah, it's like 90% my fault. I mean, you know, what am I gonna do, man? What am I gonna do? Just magically fix myself overnight? No. I'm gonna be content being an idiot for the rest of my life. That is something that I do. I think more than I should is go like, I'm already stupid. Why would I work on being less stupid? Like I've already reached peak stupidity, so why would I like try to combat that? And that's why I'm never gonna know biology. That's a deep cut, and by deep cut I mean I talked about it like 2 days ago. Oh, specialized, nice. That's big. Pulsing summons, that would be good if I had summons. 3 dragon eggs? That's actually really funny. Look at this. I'm literally unstoppable. I gotta say, I was wondering about this recently, but like, oh my god. But is the onset of people saying like as a filler word because of social media? And now that I've got that complete thought out, I'm not even gonna try to stop myself from saying like, because it's a core component of my vocabulary. When I don't know what to say, I just say like. There you go. But like you know, my parents' generation weren't saying like to fill their sentences, were they? I don't think they were, because that feels like a very modern thing that boomers make fun of us for. But I can't see the correlation between social media and saying like. Like why would social media bring that about? You know what I'm trying to say? We need to get the etymology guy on that. Like the guy who goes, here's the etymology of Sigma and why it's not going to be around in 10 years. Like, like as if that needs to be explained. I'm shitting on him, but he does make very good videos. No, but it is funny. It is funny to see him be like, yeah, here's why this very obviously dumbass word is not going to be around in 10 years. It's like, well, or maybe it's because it's a fucking stupid word and everyone thinks it's stupid. And he's like, no, there are actually very scientific reasons why it's not going to be around very soon. I feel like those guys who like are just the physical embodiment of the nerd emoji, they're very easy to like. They're very easy to like because they're all so passionate about what they do. Like Hank Green, the etymology guy, and now that I'm saying it out loud, I actually can't think of any others. But you get what I'm trying to say. They're all very passionate about what they do, and that makes them very easy to listen to. No, I think it's cool. I think it's really I'm making fun of that etymology guy, but I'm gonna double down on the fact that I think it's really cool that he has like an academic subject that he is really into, because like honestly I could never. The only like vaguely academic the only academic subject I've ever vaguely been into was history, and even that I wasn't really into like the history that they taught us, because like the history that they taught us at schools was boring as fuck. Like I don't want to hear about the about what Henry the fucking Sixth did. Like, you know, there are interesting kings that everyone knows about, which are like the ones that I feel like we should be taught about. Not just like Dingus the Wise. Actual recurring character now, Dingus the Wise. I'm pretty sure I talked about him yesterday. Dingus the Wise, 12th King of England. Like, who gives a fuck? And there's also like there are also like fucking a lot of problems with minority history in the UK. Like we just don't get taught about the history of like minority groups in the UK. We didn't get taught at all about the IRA, which I feel like is an extremely important historical event that, you know, we should learn about. That just kind of got glossed over, which is kind of crazy to me, because they got very close to killing Thatcher, if I remember correctly. Which, like, that's the only thing I'm gonna shit on them for, was not killing Thatcher. They got really fucking close, and they missed. Now, that's the biggest fumble in recent history. Yeah, we just don't get taught about very interesting stuff. Like even World War II, which I feel like is one of the most interesting historical events in the entirety of history, we got taught about like the most fucking boring stuff possible. Like, why would I want to hear about how the Blitz impacted fucking 13-year-olds in England? Like, who gives a fuck? Respectfully, there are more interesting things to learn about. No wonder a lot of people are like, history's the worst subject, because you only learn about the boring stuff. You have to fish for the actual interesting stuff. And I mean, I think, you know, I think a good teacher can make boring stuff interesting. And I mean, I had some pretty decent history teachers. Like you know, they were good dudes, good people. But they just didn't have that kind of magnetism that you need to make boring stuff interesting. And they also, I guess, couldn't be bothered to just throw in interesting little tidbits, which I feel like is the most interesting way, I feel like is the easiest way to make boring stuff interesting. Like, learning about physics and particles and shit, boring as hell, but if you throw in some interesting stuff about black holes, I mean, immediately I'm hooked. But I mean, like, a lot of teachers just can't be bothered to do that, I guess, which I feel like is just an indictment of their ability and their character, sort of, because while I was in teaching, it was, you know, I discovered it is very, very easy to do that. Like, I had to lesson plan a little bit for some teachers, and like, you can just, lesson planning takes like maybe an hour max per class, and it's not like you're teaching every class a different thing. You're teaching a lot of classes the same thing, so you need to plan, like, I don't know. You don't need to plan a huge amount. And you can just like throw in interesting little tidbits to make the lesson more fun, more engaging. Oh my god, voice crack. But a lot of these teachers just didn't feel like that was necessary, or didn't feel like they had the time to do it. And I mean, you know, I understand why. You're getting paid fuck all, so why would you put in more work than you have to? But it's like, I don't know, man. It's so easy to just cut away from boring shit for a moment and be like, you know what, let's watch a YouTube video on why black holes are really fucking interesting, or what quantum tunneling is. The resources are out there, but I feel like people just don't. I feel like teachers just don't do that very often. That's a shame, because they should, because it's a great way to keep kids interested. But yeah, I've gotten off topic. I struggled to keep myself interesting in school because I feel like we never learned about interesting stuff, we only learned about boring stuff. So I'm glad that, you know, etymology guy has been able to, despite his subject being, in my eyes, not entirely interesting, has been able to, you know, become really passionate about it and maintain his interest in it, even though, you know, not hugely interesting, blah blah blah. I think that says something good about his character and about his focus and mentality. I think he's a good dude. Oh fuck, I just took damage. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to get the don't take any damage achievement. RIP to that. I feel like that's it's one of those issues that we can only kind of commiserate about. The fact that a lot of teachers can't be bothered to make their lessons more interesting, because, you know, to incentivize that, we would need to pay teachers more, and Lord knows that's never gonna fucking happen. Like, the teachers' unions are great, but also, like, we're just never gonna be able to get teachers up to a reasonable wage. Which, like, in my eyes, let's get real, teachers should be paid like fucking a starting salary for a teacher fresh out of getting their oh fuck, I forgot the name of the degree. Fresh off of getting their teaching license. The starting salary should be like fucking £40,000. Like, come on. What about the economy? What about the economy? Shut the fuck up. If you had to work with these dickhead little kids all day, whose only goal is to make your life worse, and you had to try and engage with them, and, you know, help them learn things, all while their sole aim is to fuck with you. If that was your job, you would deserve to be paid like fucking $1 quadrillion. But nope, we in all of our infinite wisdom, pay teachers like fucking barely anything. It's sad. It's sad. If I was Prime Minister, that would be my first thing. That would be my first thing I would do, honestly. Raise the minimum wage for teachers by like £10,000-20,000. But I mean, I think this says something. It says something good about humanity, that even though teaching is really just a nightmare job that doesn't pay very well and is extremely hard and draining, there are so many people that still willingly go into it and still willingly make the most out of it and try and, you know, make people's lives better. The world can be a bad place, but I think it's worth remembering that the world is inhabited by like very, very good people. And the bad people that make the world worse are generally the minority. Not many of them exist out there. Most people want to do good and will try to do good. And I mean, that's beautiful, but also we should pay them more. You know, let's mark off something on the fucking bingo card here. Anti-capitalist messaging. Which should be fair. No, we already marked that off. Microsoft's, oh my god, that scared the fuck out of me, honestly. Microsoft's CEO got a pay rise of 73% in this last it's either quarter or year. I don't know. I'm gonna go with year to be more charitable. So he got a massive pay rise, even though Microsoft is laying off fucking tons of employees as we speak. Which, I mean, is just like... It's so symbolic of what's wrong with just gaming and the world right now. I really don't want any of these. Yeah, I don't want any of those. It's really just symbolic about what's going on with the world at the moment. That, you know, as Microsoft is laying off the people that make their company money, they're giving money to the people who don't. You know what I mean? It's just sad. It's sad. It's sad to see the world getting slightly worse. There's just kind of no recourse, you know what I mean? It's the same thing with teachers, and how little they're paid. I mean, the most we can really do is fucking commiserate, because, you know, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm just a dumbass sitting in this room who plays D&D, like, quite frequently. Yeah, what am I meant to do? Like, change the world? My final message? I'm getting sidetracked again. It's not an easy task to just like make the world significantly better. So it's like, for the average Joe, it's like, what the fuck am I meant to do? Just feel sad about it, I guess. Feel sad that the world is like not very good at the moment, and there's nothing I can really do to make it any better. I just realized I might be using the word commiserate wrong. If I am, I'm deeply sorry. That's something I just do. And I mean, I think that's a pretty normal human thing to do, just use words wrong. Like, if it sounds right in my head, I'm just gonna say it. And yeah, that means a lot of the time I do not get the context of words right. I mean, life's too short to be worried about stuff like that. I'm thinking at the moment about how I'm really just wondering how many people I know are going to get married before Silksong gets released. You know what I mean? Like, Silksong, it's been like 5 years since it got announced. It's supposed to have been released like fucking 5 times already. And you know, me and pretty much everyone I know is like 18 going into their 20s now. I wonder how many people are going to get married before I'm able to play Silksong. I'd imagine it's going to be like 2 or 3. Oh, I might be able to make it to level 50 if I'm speedy about it. Level 46. I mean, it's possible. Don't tell me it's impossible, because it is. It's possible. I don't think I'm gonna make it in time, but we might be able to get enough XP just like that's lying around to reach level 50. Oh. I thought there'd be a final boss. Well, never mind. What an anticlimactic ending to the video. Well, you guys have been great. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.